Defender draws some oohs and ahs from the Southern New Hampshire bench.
Attempt forward a little bit too far ahead of her teammate, however, and not a bad chance though. And possession style is what they want to do here at Southern New Hampshire. Good start for them. Begin to sort of dictate and assert yourself, especially in this portion of the field. Put some pressure on the Bentley defense.
It's actually going to be one of the two center backs taking the goal kick here. Knocked out of bounds, and a throw-in for Bentley. So they have somebody stepping in for the junior Renee Perkins. The Nantucket native has battled through some ups and downs this year. Bentley kind of has been going back and forth between its two keepers. Count Hassipis, who was an all-rookie performer a year ago, has put up decent numbers this season, but she and Perkins have traded opportunities. This one's slowed up here by Jenna Fitzgerald, moved on up ahead. Played into open space. Sylvia coming up on the run. Has an option out wide and plays it there. Southern New Hampshire has numbers going forward. Crossed in, and a finishing tip just out of the reach of Humphreys. She was the closest to it, with both her and Glorud making a great run.
Boy, I think Humphreys could look at her there. I think she's going to want that one back. That's an opportunity where if she probably slides forward, all she really has to do is get a touch on this ball. It's probably going to be a goal. Just barely gets a flicker on with the left foot there. But maybe she slides forward, just tries to finish it, just get a touch on it. Unfortunately, just out of the extended reach there.
Great feed from the freshman Sydney Carney, coming off a Northeast 10 Rookie of the Week award for her heroics and the win over 19th ranked Adelphi. The Penmen and the Panthers basically flip-flopping spots in the national rankings. Adelphi had been number 19 last week in the polls. They drop out into the receiving votes category. Southern New Hampshire, who started the year at number 24, back inside the top 25.
You know me, you know how much I think of national rankings when it comes to that stuff. That being said, it's nice for a program. Obviously, you start to get that bullseye on you a little bit.
Roy's bending ball in toward the box. Easy save off the hop for Perkins. Now the rankings transition throughout the year, but programs always like to put that target in front of them.
Absolutely, nice accolade for the student athletes. It's exciting, no doubt about it.
Well, and especially when you can knock off a ranked team too. They always
that looks good in the resume when you talk about later on in the year.
Thrive in that. This shot rebounds off of a Southern New Hampshire body, close to being a handball in the box as Bentley kind of ventures forward just for the second time today. Carly Kohler moves it out wide. Here's McDonald sending the cross in. Falls in front, a shot and a score. Alyssa Valente pouncing on the loose ball in front, buries it for Bentley, and the Falcons take an early 1-0 lead.
Really sloppy play there by Southern New Hampshire defensively. I thought there might be an offsides violation there, but no call, obviously no flag up by the line judge, and good work by Bentley. That's what they do. They counter, they make the most of their opportunities. You're going to take a look at it here. Great cross and just sort of a sloppy play in front of the net. At the end of the day, Valente, right spot, right time, just sort of runs through it. Good job with the left foot to finish it.
Yeah, it came down in a sea of 5 bodies. Carney was back there, got the initial touch on the cross, but ended up settling perfectly for Valente, who just needed to fire it home, and that she did. 4th goal of the year for Alyssa Valente, as Bentley jumps on top less than 10 minutes in to take a 1-0 lead here over the Penmen.
And that's huge for a team. We've talked about Bentley struggling over the last month or so, with the exception of the great win against Franklin Pierce. For them to get the first goal early on, that's such a big thing from your confidence perspective and your mindset going forward.
Glorud touches it out wide. Carney with it here, one-on-one. Carney tries to cut inside. Carney slips it in. Played back. Glorud couldn't pick it up. Crema on the turn, takes it around a defender. Crema shot to the back post, and it's hammered home in front. Southern New Hampshire strikes right back. Takes about a minute off the clock, but Southern New Hampshire finds the equalizer off a great play from Crema. And it looks like Carney was the one who finished it off.
And that was all Crema setting that up. And again, Bentley just not doing a good enough job defensively. You see, beautiful work there. And then I think that was a shot attempt that got deflected by a Bentley player. And then Carney, right spot, right time to clean it up.
Beautiful move going 5-hole through McDonald, and Carney like she did in the win over at Delphi, right where the ball finds her, right in front of goal.
It's funny, Coach Montero, speaking with him, he said she's just a natural goal scorer. She just finds a way, and you see right there, that was just, she just got herself in a spot where she could do something productive, and no Bentley defender cleared her out of there. The ball was just sort of jostling around, and she buries it.
Well, and a good feeling for her as well. You mentioned, she had the initial touch that allowed Bentley to put it away, and Kearney makes right up for the miscue by answering right back for Southern New Hampshire. Crema will pick up an assist, her 6th of the year, 5th goal of the season for Sydney Kearney. And how about that? A quick series of goals back-to-back, less than 2 minutes apart, really only about a minute apart, in fact. Valente for Bentley, Kearney for Southern New Hampshire, and with still 37 minutes to go in the first half, we start over at 1-1.
Who's to say there's not enough scoring in soccer, right?
Exactly.
I mean, back-to-back just like that, and oftentimes they'll say the best time to get that counter, get that equalizer, is after the opposition just scored. Sort of feeling good about themselves, not thinking an attack's going to come. Great pressure by the Penmen to tie this game up at 1 apiece.
Hey, our first broadcast of the year with the men's team at Delphi was a 4-2 battle that saw numerous scoring chances for both teams. So who's to say we won't see more of that tonight?
And this is great to watch. You open, a lot of space, and both teams creating chances, and that's what you want.
Glowrood with a little delay here. Had Roy's in front, continues to delay out near the sideline. Feeds it back for Crema, looking to switch fields.
This is my first look at Glowrood live. I've seen Southern Hampshire play online a handful of times, but she is a special, gifted player with the ball on her feet.
Can be a hold-up type forward, but also looks to create, slips around a defender, a shot, and she scores! Right on cue, Dorothea Glowrood tucks it in, short side post, 2-1 Penmen.
That was spectacular. What an individual effort there by the freshman. That was unbelievable stuff. I mean, you're going to see her, she's 22, 24 yards out, and the keeper's got a good beat on that bench. She read that beautifully. It wasn't like she was fooled. She had a good sight line on that and just beat her bottom left corner. Great stuff there by the freshman.
Tremendous initial touch as well to steer around the center back, Absolutely. Ryan Hunt, in order to create that shot. How about Glowrood not shy about taking it from outside the box, and the Penmen strike quickly to get a lead at 2-1. 3 goals in less than a 5-minute span as the Penmen jump out to a 2-1 lead, and this is the type of offense that Ellie Montero's been looking for.
And they continue to pressure down that right side.
Kearney gets it to the top of the box. The chip from Humphreys goes just wide.
I'll say this. We haven't done a game together. I'm glad we're finally working together. Long overdue, first and foremost.
Absolutely.
I am a huge fan of teams that continue to put the pressure on the net. I think at times teams tend to settle looking for that perfect opportunity, that cross strike that we see, at all different levels of soccer. But I think good things happen when you put the pressure on the net. We saw it with Crema earlier. Just sort of put it on, boom, loose ball, look what you find. You find yourself with a goal on the cleanup. There, you get the opportunity outside the box. I think a lot of teams would send it down the side. Instead, Glover buries it.
Here's Bentley trying to counter back the other way. 2-on-3. This one played across. Going to be out of the reach and played out to safety here by Fitzgerald on the cover-up for the Penmen.
I think if you're Southern Hampshire right now, you got to tighten up on the back line a little bit. You're getting some defenders that are getting some pretty good looks and running free into space. You got to do a better job of marking your person individually in that 1v1 type opportunity.
Here's McDonald's cross into the area, knocked down. Roy's will clear it out here for the Penmen. Humphreys on the outlet, delays here, looking to spark a counter the other way. Plays it off into open space, too far for Glowrood. And it'll be a throw-in for Bentley in front of the Falcons bench. What a blistering start to this one. A little more than 10 minutes in, the Falcons struck first on a rebound goal from Alyssa Valente, but then about a minute later, the equalizer from Sydney Kearney for Southern New Hampshire, and not more than 3 minutes after that, it is Dorothea Glowrood with her 3rd of the season to make it 2-1 Southern New Hampshire. So if you're just joining us, you've already missed a lot. Alongside Jacob Van Ryn, Ben Halcher here with you for Penmen Soccer on Fox College Sports this evening. Certainly an entertaining start to this game.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And it seems like a lifetime ago that Bentley had the lead in this game, doesn't it? I mean, they've had a couple of good opportunities. They got that strike early, but since then it's been all Penmen.
Now the Falcons, as you said, have been living sort of in 1-goal games this year, and they probably thought that they were off to a great start, getting the early 1-0 lead, but very quickly Southern New Hampshire puts them right back behind the 8 ball. Here is Valente, delaying as Bentley starts to flush forward a little bit.
It's a good ball by Valente.
Able to find a runner in open space up the left flank. This one played into the box, headed away for the moment. Takes an extra bounce. McDonald battling for it there for Bentley. Retains possession in the corner. Chips it back to the top of the box. Knocked away from Valente and cleared out to safety by the Penmen.
Good individual effort there defensively just to get a piece of that, knock it out of a potential opportunity for the Falcons.
Played back up the line, controlled here by Kohler. Gets it back off the rebound pass, tried to slip it in open space for McDonald. Now sends her away down the right side. She is on sides. McDonald with a right-footed cross in, takes a hop. Settled there off the chest, moves back out. Left-footed shot from deep, goes high. Stephanie Helen that time tried to put it on a tee for one of her midfielders to come forward, but it was blasted away there by Sammy Millman.
I think if you're Bentley, obviously you're not thrilled with giving away the 2 goals, but if you're focused on the positive, your head coach Lauren Lucas here, we've gotten some good chances, and they're working the perimeter pretty nicely, centering some of those passes we saw there led to a pretty good opportunity there.
Yeah, McDonald has really been able to find a lot of room down that right side.
Yeah.
Here's Guccione, knocked away from her. Controlled, and Humphreys on the turn. Has Glarud out in front. Carney makes a run up the right side. Working one-on-one against Millman. Carney slips it around Glarud. And Bentley will look to transition back the other way. Here's Dana Goulet. Able to stretch it out wide for Guccione. 1v1 against Fitzgerald. Little burst of speed here. Guccione cuts it back, and the pass intended for Valente, but off the mark, and an easy clear that time for Southern New Hampshire. Crema, quick little give and go here. And now it's Crema on the move.
Yeah, numbers if they can cross the field.
Humphreys played it back in the direction of Miranda Peliquin. Big part of Southern New Hampshire's run to the Northeast 10 title a year ago was Peliquin.
She's a terrific player, really one of the unsung really stars in the Northeast 10. She doesn't get the headlines because she doesn't put up huge numbers, but is really one of the better players in this league.
Sort of that definitive two-way player.
Absolutely.
Helps out on offense and can control things on the back end as well. Again, the Penmen just clear it out to midfield. McDonald holds. Tied up here for the moment by Glarud. Had a hand on the hip, but no foul called there. Now Hunt delays, looking for an opening, and just blasts it into open space. Humphreys again tried to turn with it, knocked away. Megan Iris gives it back over to Millman as Bentley works out of the back. Again, stolen away by the Penmen at midfield.
Tell Southern Hampshire trying to play a little bit more possession-type soccer here as this first half wears on. Ben, they're trying to control the ball, not trying to send free runners down the, either flank.
Sylvia into space. Carney able to keep it in along the far sideline. The freshman tried to move it in, knocked away though again. That time by McDonald, it looked like.
I think she was expecting her teammate to push forward. Instead, she sort of got into that open gap waiting for a pass.
This one played in open space for Valente. Bentley looking to get runners in the box. No one going, though. So Valente's got a delay here. Tries to cut around a defender, gets knocked down, and then it'll be our first foul of the game. We'll set up a free kick from a good position here. Foul called on Lynn Snook of the Penmen.
I've been impressed with Valente thus far. She's put some pressure on the Penmen defense. Here you see just a good possession, and Snook just trying to make a play, just a little bit overzealous, we'll say, with the right arm.
Reached in, tried to knock Valente off the ball. A free kick coming here from just outside the box. This one bent in, knocked down, loose in front. Rose trying to scramble to get to it, and she will eventually. There's a body in there in front for Bentley. It looked like it was Valente or Guccione there, appealing for a foul. Rose, not the cleanest corralling of the ball initially, but eventually able to get back to it with the help of her defense.
And again, though, that's one of those balls, Ben, where Southern Hampshire's got to be a lot cleaner getting that ball out. I mean, that's one that against really quality opponents, you're talking going forward to any 10 conference play, and certainly NCAA play, which Southern New Hampshire certainly has aspirations of competing in once again this year. Those are goals against really high quality opponents. They got to tighten that up.
A dangerous bouncing ball inside. Valente was in the area, but couldn't get a clean strike away like she did the first time around. This one played back into open space. A steal here for Crema. 3-on-4 up the field. Crema tries to knife between two defenders, able to stay in possession. Cuts it back for Humphreys. looking for options. Carney makes herself available, trying to pick out Glowroot in a sea of blue. And it's deflected away and controlled by Guccione.
Crema's done a nice job with some of her runs forward. She really put a lot of pressure on Bentley's defense thus far.
Long clearance, Rose well outside the box. Just going to play it back up for Southern New Hampshire here. Moved forward here for Peliquin. Again out wide for Carney. They've looked to work through the freshman pretty consistently. She has been a staple in the lineup all year long. Carney puts on the brakes. Working here on Millman. Carney all the way down around the end line, cuts it back. Humphreys, the shot blocked out in front.
What if that Bentley defender doesn't make a play on that? I think that's goal number 3 for Southern New Hampshire.
Certainly in the mix. McKenna Hiller eventually cleared it away. It was knocked down in front, I believe, by Hunt.
He also had, I mean, he had the Falcons keeper leaning the other way, and Perkins going the opposite direction with that cross.
Now here's Valente. Again, working in open space against Sparta. Valente tries to cut to the top of the box. The pass deflected, knocked down for Guccione, tied up by Fitzgerald, and Fitzgerald with a clean takeaway.
And that's they got a late whistle on the play, probably a play on type situation. The official saying, "Oh, let's just regather and regroup." Good 1v1 type defending there. That's what we've been talking about in this first half. Got to see more of that going forward for Southern New Hampshire. I like that action.
Senior from Upton, Mass. Has not been a regular fixture in the starting lineup, but has played in 11 of the 12 games this season. A former Central Massachusetts MVP from Upton, Massachusetts. The Southern New Hampshire team still based for the most part out of New England. We did mention Glowroot and that sort of international expansion, but for the most part, you'll find most of these Penmen players based from around the Northeast areas. Ellie Montero's done a great job finding talent within the region.
Yeah, and that's been sort of a hallmark of Coach Montero during his time, obviously at UMass Lowell, and now here in his 5 years, outstanding job he's done at Southern New Hampshire. He takes great pride in that, and really, you know, getting those student athletes and really getting those 4-year student athletes to buy into the program, grow, get through the program, and continue to contribute. He's been really proud of this group and the way that they've come together.
Bouncing ball into the box, Rose quickly on top of it, beating Helen to the loose ball.
That's a good opportunity, though, for Bentley, and good play by Rose coming off her line to come forward and grab that one.
A little less than 20 minutes gone here in the opening half. Alyssa Valente scoring in the 6th minute for Bentley. Sydney Carney in the 7th minute for Southern New Hampshire on an assist from Sydney Crema. And right now the go-ahead goal from Glowroot on an assist by Peliquin, which was her 2nd of the year. And the 3rd goal of the season for Glowroot came in the 8th minute. So 3 goals in...
What, 2.5?
Yeah, a 2.5, 3-minute span. And that's how we have a 2-1 Southern New Hampshire lead. This one played in open space. Here's Glowroot looking for a breakaway. Only one defender back. Glowroot tried to get a shot knocked down. No penalty. Just a corner kick.
I actually thought from up here, I thought that was a good no call. I thought that was, we'll get another look at it here. I thought she did a good job putting pressure on the defender.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a very good job defensively. That's a good job by Glowroot coming forward and getting a corner, but try to get the officials' attention perhaps with that slide down. But that was well done by our crew.
Iris just stepping in front at the last moment. Subs coming on for the first time. You saw one of them, Kara Easter, checking in for Southern New Hampshire. Corner kick played all the way out to Fitzgerald. Moved back into the middle. Follow up, here's Crema. Bending ball right on goal and a save for Perkins.
Perkins had a good look at that, but again, I like the philosophy. Yeah, she doesn't feel that cleanly. You got a lot of white shirts in the area, the opportunity to potentially clean it up.
One of the subs coming in for Bentley, Kelly Donlin, junior from Meriden, Connecticut. And Lauren Bean also checking in for the Falcons, so getting a little bit more experience, being a senior, Donlin a junior onto the field. And a little surprising is Helen gets an early breather. Bentley's leading scorer comes off.
Yeah, I was wondering about that as well. She's been a key cog for them on the season, leading them with 5 goals coming into tonight's play. So we wonder where she's at, physically, from a fitness standpoint.
So now it is Bean who pairs up top along with Valente, who's already scored once today for Bentley. Penmen trying to keep this ball in play along the end line, volleyed out. It's going to be another corner kick here. One time Iris just choosing to play it out and concede the corner. Kreml will go over to take it.
It's been a good 5 or so minute stretch here for the Penmen, getting some opportunities, getting a couple of corners, and really beginning to sort of assert themselves on this side of the field.
Looking for a chance to cash in again. Kreml lines this one up on the corner. Good ball inside, headed away. Kept around the area by Carney for the moment as the Penmen forced to retreat. Fitzgerald on the re-entry, knocked down there by Hunt. And Bentley will look to counter out of it. Valente holds up, reverses to Conlon. Played back over the top in the direction of Guccione. Looked like she cut off the run for a moment, and that allows Sparta to come over and reverse field.
I don't know what happened with Guccione there, but you said it 100% accurate. It looked like that was a 50-50 ball. She had a chance of winning. I don't know if something happened there, but she definitely cut that off.
Here's Snook firing it up the path in the direction of Humphreys. Loose ball makes its way out to Carney. And she plays it ahead for Glarud. Hunt out there defending. Glarud takes it all the way towards the corner flag. Cuts it back toward the top. Left-footed cross blocked away by Hunt. Humphreys back out to Carney. Southern New Hampshire resets the attack. Carney races around the defender. Crossed in the middle, knocked down by Hunt, and just forced to play it out for the corner. Perkins delayed coming out, but couldn't grab the ball because Hunt had already played it at the feet. So Perkins wouldn't have been able to grab it without conceding a penalty there.
As you know, you're Hunt, you're trying to make a play, help your defense, and at the same time, that's one of those miscommunication type situations where the keeper's got to be yelling, ball, ball, ball. I can make a play on that. I can get my hands on it. Instead, Hunt saying, I don't know where she is. What do I do here? Just gets rid of it.
Third corner kick already here for the Penmen. This one played in and headed quickly away. Settled back again by Crema. Races around a defender. Crema along the end line, cuts it back, knocked away by Hunt, and cleared to safety by Goulet.
Crema has been sensational thus far in the first half. She's just a great job of putting pressure on Bentley defensively and setting up Southern New Hampshire with a number of scoring opportunities, including the first goal of the game, which came directly off her shot.
In-state product, Litchfield, New Hampshire, Campbell High School. Started her college career at UNH, but has been a mainstay of this Southern New Hampshire lineup as of late. Splitting a couple defenders here. This shot and just wide of the post. Looked like Carney was able to break through the defenders that time, and the freshman showing some strength there.
That was a great individual effort by the freshman. Absolutely right. She missed that, her second goal of the game by mere inches there on along the end line. But boy, I have been very impressed with her play. And between her and Glorwood, there's a lot of coaches in this league that aren't too thrilled knowing that they're going to have to deal with those two for the next 3 years.
Especially knowing that there's some other players among this group who can certainly put up some points for Southern New Hampshire as well. You mentioned this is a very deep team, and even among the rebuilding process, or really the reloading process for Ellie Montero, this is still one of the top teams in the Northeast 10.
He loves this group. He was raving about this team, the way they've come together, and he's been so proud of their development, their growth throughout the season, and you can tell why he's so excited watching them play here.
Glarud plays it on here for Humphreys, has Hunt in front of her. Humphreys cuts it back to the left foot, the shot blocked. Hunt has been really busy fending off some of these surges from the Penmen offense so far. This one played to the feet of Glarud. Turns it, looking to play in on Royce. Hunt, though, again getting in the way. Ryan Hunt, the junior from Millis, has been very busy.
And Bentley's doing a much better job as this half wears on of bringing a defender back.
The horn blew for subs, thinking the ball was out on the far sideline, but it was kept in play, so on we go. The two subs will have to continue to wait here.
Those lines over there, they're going to get you a little bit, huh? So it's the white line across the field.
Well, hey, it's still new maybe to some of the personnel
All
here.
good.
It's the first year.
All good.
Here's Fitzgerald. Quick little give and go that time with Kara Easter. This will bounce its way to Valente, knocked away from behind by Sparta. As the Bentley player goes down, a foul called against the Falcons. So free kick here for Southern New Hampshire.
And you talk about the reloading process. 8 freshmen for Southern New Hampshire this year, and key freshmen at that. I mean, starting goalkeeper. We've talked about Carney, obviously. We've talked about Glarudi. You're talking about some key cogs in this group. Coach Montero and his staff, outstanding class they have brought here to Manchester/Hooksett area.
And obviously you see the impact that Glarud and Kearney have made, scoring the 2 goals today, now combining for 8 goals on the season. And again, it's just the first year, so you look at, possibly projected development and additional players along the way, and it's interesting to think about what this team could be in a year or 2.
Yes, the future under the direction of Coach Montero, very bright here at Southern Hampshire. They are not going south anytime soon.
Bentley trying to move it back up the field, but cut off on the end by Fitzgerald. As Easter holding on to it, moves it in the direction of Crema. Played out, and it'll be a throw in here for the Falcons.
Horn. There we go.
Now we get the subs coming on here for Bentley.
There we go.
For Southern New Hampshire, Emily Rowan will make her first appearance. The junior midfielder will replace Danielle Humphreys. And for the Falcons, Amanda Andriano, first year from Wisconsin, New York, checks in.
Rowan, a Cardinal Spellman product. Good program down there.
This one nudged forward by Royce. Eventually taken back by Sylvia. Here's Royce with a little bit of space. Tries to push it out wide. Kearney has shifted up top to play alongside Glarud, so now the 2 freshmen playing at the forward spots with the addition of Rowan in the midfield. Looks like she'll take Kearney's spot along that wing.
Get the sense that that's where Kearney's really going to make her hay going forward, don't you? I mean, she's just too good to keep her off the field right now. But going forward throughout her career, you just get the feeling like she's just going to be one of those, devastating offensive players that, is among the league leaders in scoring every year.
Well, especially with a player who, as Coach Montero said, has a nose for the ball.
Yeah, I mean, and she's in the top 20 in, goals, assists, points, all those things right now. And you think about, playing out of position a little bit at this point in her career. Boy, I can't say enough about her.
Crema got clipped there, so free kick taken quickly by Fitzgerald. Rowan unable to measure this one, can't keep it in play along that far sideline, so it'll be a throw in here for the Falcons.
Great first half, all you can ask for. Great opportunities. Southern Hampshire, the early advantage, which you like to see, and Penmen playing well after, really affording and allowing some good Bentley opportunities in the first 10 minutes or so. They've been much tighter on the defensive side since.
Falcons scored the opening goal in the 6th minute. Southern New Hampshire was quick to counter, though, less than a minute later. Sydney Kearney tied it up at 1-1, and then a little more than a minute after that, Dorothea Glarud put the Penmen on top, and we've been at 2-1 ever since. Bentley on the move again here. Andriano plays it on for Valente. The shot just wide. Tried to beat Rose up high on that short side and just couldn't curl it back quite enough.
Here's a good look at Valente, who scored the game's first goal earlier tonight, obviously, with another opportunity. Kudos to you, sir. We talked about, who you feature going in this game. I said maybe Helen, leading scorer or whatnot. I said, no, Valente had the game winner against Franklin Pierce. She's been by far Bentley's best player thus far.
Hey, look at the theme with the 2 players coming off of overtime winners. That win over Franklin Pierce arguably might have saved Bentley's season.
Undoubtedly. That's a game that you build on, that you say, listen, our best is as good as anybody in the league, and they've done that in the past. And we talked about they've been in a lot of 1-goal contests, a lot of ties obviously coming into this one, 3 ties on the year, 2 of them in league play. So they're in every game. The question is, do they have enough firepower? Do they do enough defensively to win those games? Unfortunately, over the last couple weeks or so, they've been on the wrong side more often than not.
Well, the Penmen have worked hard over the last few weeks. 5 wins in a row. 3 of them have come in overtime. The latest, a victory over a 19th ranked Adelphi that put the Penmen back in the national polls, and they're looking to keep that win streak going. Take a look at the schedule down the stretch. Southern New Hampshire probably thinks it's going to have an opportunity to take the regular season title. Franklin Pierce still has to battle some of those top teams, still has to play a Southern Connecticut, still has to play, a couple of those other highly ranked teams. So if Southern New Hampshire can continue this winning streak, they might have an opportunity to leap over the Ravens despite having lost the regular season matchup.
Yeah, some tough games on the horizon. Obviously, not an easy one as they head to Assumption next week. Then they host Southern Connecticut, who's been playing really well, and cap off the regular season. with a trip out to Albany against a very good St. Rose program, traditionally, one of the league's premier teams in Europe. So, but yeah, very winnable on the horizon, certainly in Southern Hampshire. Any given day, they can obviously play and beat anybody.
Couple more subs coming on. Valente gets her first breather for Bentley, replaced by Emily McGrath. So the Falcons getting their top scores, a little bit of rest here towards the end of the first half. Also coming in for Southern New Hampshire, Alexis Fruzetti, a junior from Hanson, Mass., a Division I transfer from Duquesne, and another player who just adds to this offensive onslaught.
Yeah, and you bring a weapon like that off your bench. I mean, this is a very deep Penmen group, a very talented Penmen team, and Coach Montero has used them, very, very well throughout the year.
Here's a steal from Carney for Fruzetti. Didn't get much on the shot, and an easy save there for Perkins.
Welcome to the game, right? I mean, you get a great scoring opportunity. Unfortunately, doesn't get much on it as she tried to one-touch it.
Now, Carney started that whole sequence with a beautiful tackle to just take it away from Iris, and just played Fruzetti into space there, but never really measured it cleanly to get a strong shot on goal.
Carney's been spectacular thus far.
This one played up the line in the direction of Andriano. She'll be able to chase it down. Fitzgerald trying to close. Andriano faked the cross, now played in. On the turn, McGrath in front. Turning shot, going to curl wide from Goulet.
Bentley's been a nice job of attacking this right side. They've gotten some good crossing opportunities, and that time, maybe you're trying to cross, not really sure where you are on the field there. Goulet maybe better served to tee up one of her teammates. You can't fault her. Like I said, I can't have it both ways. I can't say you got to pass more when I think you should shoot more. I don't fault her for that, but maybe another touch, another cross across the box to get an opportunity, a better scoring opportunity for a teammate.
Well, good press forward from the reserve unit there of the Falcons. Again, they're used to sort of having either Valente or Helen or both on the field kind of as those target players to get the ball inside to. That time it was Goulet posted up in front of goal trying to make something happen.
I said this earlier. I think if you're Bentley, obviously the score is not what you would like it to be, trailing 2-1 here in the final 12+ minutes, or 11+ minutes, I should say, at half. But you've been pretty happy with some of the chances you've generated from your group.
Certainly been able to work the ball up the field at times. You said that right side has been available to them pretty frequently. Hunt steps forward to head this one away. On the turn, Goulet stretches it out wide. And now Bentley on the counter. Goulet making an overlapping run here. This one played down the side around Snook. A shot covered up in the end by Rose. Opportunity that time from Donlin. Just tried to beat Snook step for step. And not sure if it was an intended shot or an intended cross, but if it was a cross, not able to get it back across the face of goal, and Rose able to deal with it relatively easily.
And obviously she got the ball on net, well, close to it obviously, but Snook did a good job of limiting, sort of the look and the opportunity she had.
Throwing on the offensive side here for Bentley. They'll look to get a few more players forward. Quickly to the feet of Donlin. Played all the way back. Iris with a chip forward. Flick on header that time from Andriano. Not able to do much with it. Sparta able to clear it back out here for the Penmen. Bentley trying to lock him in. Snook will just blast this one up the line. Chested down for the moment by Fruzetti. Penmen unable to keep it in play. Still 10 minutes to go here in the opening half. 24th ranked Southern New Hampshire on top of Bentley 2-1. Coverage of Penmen soccer here on Fox College Sports tonight. Ben Alcher and Jacob Van Ryn with you on a beautiful night from Manchester. Close to record highs today. Temperatures in the 80s. And
beautiful day here in Manchester.
And it's extended into the evening, thankfully for us.
We will take it. It couldn't be a more comfortable evening than it is right now.
I'm sure the players are happy about it too. This one played into the box, knocked away from McGrath, and cleared out again by Sparta.
Now, half full both ways here. If you're Bentley, you're happy with the possession game you've gotten over the last few minutes or so. For Southern New Hampshire, doing a good job of limiting the opportunities and the quality opportunities that Bentley's gotten during this possession stretch.
Again, this one played toward the top of the box. McGrath can't settle cleanly. It's run into by Crema. Can't clear it out quite all the way. Now it's out to Royce. Touched forward, but Iris steps forward to send it back the other way. This one moved out wide. Rowan able to run onto this, looking to counter. Southern New Hampshire with 4-on-4. Played into space, and a slide tackle. And are we going to get a free kick? Yes, we are.
That was all started by Sparta's ball forward as she crossed it over to the right flank. That was very well done there, turning defense to offense very quickly by the Penmen.
You can just see Roy's undercut that time. Hunt didn't really get much of the ball.
Sort of got her legs up and did a good job to make it not look, but I think it was pretty intentional to, limit Roy's opportunity to make a play on it, but probably a good foul to take, quite frankly.
Good positioning here on the free kick from a little more than 20 yards out. 3-player wall for Bentley. It is Roy's who will take it. Penmen captain. Roy's bends it with the right foot. Perkins stumbled on it, still loose in the box and cleared out by Bentley. Boy, an emergency drill that time for the Falcons after Perkins dropped what appeared to be an easy save. Now here's Carney to the end line. Deflected out by Hunt for a corner kick.
That was a near dire set of circumstances for Bentley. And Ben, I think if Southern Hampshire can make this a 2-goal affair, obviously looks very good here. Take another look, and that's just right through the hands, unfortunately, for Perkins. She had a good read on that, was positioned perfectly, just didn't feel it. Seemed to let it get in our body a little bit too much there, sort of squirted away from her, and fortunate that this remains a 1-goal game.
And she was able to sort of get back on top of it and stop the follow-up by Fruzetti. Off the corner, cleared away by Donlin. All the way out to midfield. McGrath, the only Falcon back there. Fitzgerald knocks it away from her. Sparta will settle. Gives it over to Snook. Moved back ahead to Sylvia. Southern New Hampshire back on the attack once again. Roy's had it knocked away from behind by Hunt. Sylvia played it into space, but nobody making a run that time for the Penmen. This ball, they'll try to slow play it out, and it didn't have enough gas. So off the steal, Fruzetti cuts it toward the front. Perkins get a touch, couldn't clear it out. Penmen with it. Carney the turn and fired just high. Nearly had her second of the game. That was actually Crema who just missed it.
You can see the look on her face. She's frustrated. She wasn't able to capitalize and get that goal. Not a bad effort here. Good play by Perkins coming out to get a piece of that one. I think it would have been a goal for Southern Hampshire. She doesn't play it. And then this is a good look for Crema. And just over the top of the old net.
How about the effort by Fruzetti to keep that play alive? Yep. Iris was expecting that ball to go out on the end line, and it just stopped short. So a few uneasy moments for the junior Renee Perkins for Bentley. But the Falcons able to keep it a 1-goal game for the time being here with just a few minutes remaining in the first half.
And Bentley cannot afford, Ben coming in averaging just over a goal per game. They can't afford to go down 3-1, let's be honest.
Certainly would be a very tough road to climb. After that near miss, Crema's going to get a breather here between the halftime break. Orion Homan, a first year from Burlington, Massachusetts, will come in. Still about 5 minutes left to go here in the first half. This one played in the direction of Roy's, couldn't settle it down cleanly. Bentley looking to break out once again. And Fitzgerald steps forward, but it keeps on going. Here's a nice run for Bean. Moved it back over, just a little bit behind Donlin. Tried to square up, but the shot will deflect out. It'll be a first corner kick coming up here for Bentley.
Counter opportunity there for the Falcons.
Fans, give the gift of Southern New Hampshire University Athletics framed pictures. Help support SNHU Athletics by purchasing a high-quality print of your favorite Penmen at snhupenmen.com. First corner opportunity of the night here for Bentley. It's been 4 on the other side for Southern New Hampshire. Keegan Castles just into the game will take this one.
A lot of motion here for the Falcons.
Short off the corner, and it's deflected out wide. Andriano got to it, but made contact short of the post and unable to redirect it on frame that time.
Not a bad chance, though. That was pretty well diagrammed, well designed. If indeed it was a design set, which probably was, and a lot of motion, a lot of activity, and they get somebody running to that sort of, near side of the goal mouth, and they nearly got the equalizer.
And sometimes with a team that is struggling to find the flow offensively, those set pieces can be the best thing that happens.
Absolutely, you get a chance to sort of assess and, run and make sure everybody's on the same page. They did a good job, I thought, of taking their time, getting organized, and obviously it led to a quality opportunity.
Meanwhile, ever since really the first 10 minutes of the game, you talked about Southern New Hampshire trying to clamp down defensively, and it looks like they've done just that. We saw a few balls kind of bounce in dangerous areas. Valente was able to put one away for an early goal, but since then, those dangerous balls haven't happened.
No, they've done a much better job. I think that's, certainly, I imagine, a point of emphasis from the coaching staff over there on the Southern New Hampshire sideline.
Not willing to trade scoring chance for scoring chance, perhaps.
No.
Donlan tries to outlet it here for the Falcons and get it up to Andriano. Donlan plays it down the far sideline. Long run here, and it will be cut off in the end by Sparta, who just takes it out to touch.
Southern Hampshire coming in, averaging just under a goal per game on the season, 4th best in the NE10, but they've allowed Bentley some opportunities and some chances, but ever since about the midway portion of this first half, their looks haven't been quite as good.
This one could not be settled cleanly by McGrath. Neat little turn there by Royce to get away.
Good touch with the left foot there.
This one played away out of bounds by Chloe Gizzy, who just came on here. Was that Hunt, I believe? That was Hunt again.
Southern Hampshire taking their time here, see if they can push some white jerseys forward here and get a chance here before the first half comes to a close.
Throw in from Fitzgerald. Trying to turn with it was Holman. Tied up along the far sideline, battling with McDonald. Holman unable to keep it in play. And it'll be a throw in here for the Falcons. Quick little give and go between McDonald and McGrath. The Falcons unable to retain possession. No rush here for Fitzgerald. In the direction of Fruzetti. Has a defender on her back. Knocked away from behind. Cleared forward for Donlan. Volleyed away by Sparta. Settled down by Fruzetti that time. Unable to split a defender. Allison Patterson with it. It was a player making a run, and Patterson couldn't get the pass away in time, was looking for Rowan.
It's good thought, though. I like the execution. Just wasn't quite on the same page as her teammate there, but did a good job to settle that ball and send it forward.
Still time for one more surge here for either team before the break. All the goals coming in the first 10 minutes. Bentley led 1-0, but quickly erased. And then the Penmen able to find the go-ahead goal less than 2 minutes later.
If you tuned in at like 7:10,
right?
You were like, oh, what happened here? What did I miss? And you're expecting more of the same. And since then, there's been some quality chances, obviously much more so on the Penmen side, but not quite as clean for either side.
What's the old saying go? If you're 5 minutes early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late.
Tom Coughlin book of the old Jacksonville Jags era.
There you go.
New York Giants and whatnot.
Free kick in the direction of goal, but ends up going wide. So goal kick coming up here. Sparta will handle it. It's the final 20 seconds start to wind down here in the opening half. Southern New Hampshire getting goals from Kearney and Glarud, with assists from Crema and Peliquin. The Bentley goal coming for Alyssa Valente. And that looks like it'll be all the scoring in the first half. So Bentley put itself on the front foot early, but Southern New Hampshire quick to counter. They get quick strike goals from Kearney and Glarud. And at the end of 45 minutes, Southern New Hampshire has a 2-1 lead over Bentley.
Good first half. Obviously what you'd like to see, some quality opportunities both ways, and especially for Southern New Hampshire, great counter to take a lead into the break.
We will take a time out here. This is coverage of Penmen Soccer on Fox College Sports. So look at the first half highlights when we come back. Welcome back to Penmen Stadium here in Manchester, New Hampshire, alongside Jacob Van Ryn, Ben Alcher with you. Halftime of Penmen Soccer presented by Anthem, Blue Cross, and Blue Shield. Let's take a look back at how we arrived at our 2-1 halftime score. Bentley jumping off early, getting the goal, and the follow-up here from Alyssa Valente and the Falcons. They thought they were off and running, but it would be only about a minute later, Jacob, before the Penmen would counter back.
Yeah, great individual effort by Crema, then obviously the cleanup by Carney to tie the game up at 1 apiece, and we talked about it. Unfortunately for Bentley, they come out great. They get that first goal feeling good, and they're caught on a good opportunity there. Crema ends up with Carney with the finish with the left foot, and then it was, a minute and a half or so later that this special freshman did just that, just burying it from outside the edge of the box. Great job by Glarud there with the what right now is the difference in this game.
Yeah, a couple great individual efforts. You see the touch here by Glarud to get around the defender Ryan Hunt, and then just a tremendous shot to beat a diving Renee Perkins. And that was all the scoring in the first half. It happened in less than a 5-minute span in the first 10 minutes of the ball game. Southern New Hampshire certainly had a few more opportunities, but Bentley was able to keep them off the board the rest of the way. We will take another timeout, come back, take a look at what else is going on in the Northeast 10 Conference tonight. This is coverage of Penmen Soccer on Fox College Sports. Welcome back to the halftime here on Penmen Soccer on Fox College Sports at Penmen Stadium, presented by Anthem, Blue Cross, Blue Shield. Ben Alcher, Jacob Van Ryn back with you. Let's take a look at what the Northeast 10 looked like coming into today's action. Franklin Pierce with a slight edge. St. Rose, Southern New Hampshire, Southern Connecticut, all though with their eyes on that top spot, Jacob.
No doubt about it. You look at that cluster at the top. I mean, Ben, you got a game and a half separating 1 through 5 right now. That is, you're talking about every game having that much more added importance as we go forward. You see some separation there, a little bit of that line after that 5 slot. 18 points with the Delphi. Those teams look like they've solidified their spots in the postseason tournament. Then you've got St. Anselm, Stonehill, AIC sort of assumption that next wave, and then you look at Bentley coming into tonight. They need some quality results and some quality outcomes going forward to get back into the NE10 championship field.
Yeah, hoping to pick up some valuable points tonight on the road, but trailing 2-1 here at halftime. Only a handful of games left for both teams. That Southern Connecticut one obviously going to be pivotal for Southern New Hampshire, as is that late non-conference game against Bridgeport.
Very strange non-conference affair. You have that sort of that gap where they were the 15-team league. Obviously, you have that sort of bye game late in the season. What do you do? Coach Montero finds that quality opponent there. Take on Bridgeport in a non-league contest. The good news is very winnable games on the horizon. A little bit of a trap game at Assumption. Got to be careful there. It's a very dangerous, a very talented team out there in Worcester. Then you cap off the regular season with a trip to Albany, which could, when all is said and done, really determine the outcome of the regular season title.
Absolutely, and obviously for Bentley, the Falcons need to pick up points late in the season as well to try to get back into the playoff structure. One more timeout, and again, we will take a look at what's going on elsewhere around the Northeast 10 tonight. This is Halftime, presented by Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield, Penmen Soccer here on Fox College Sports. Welcome back to Halftime, presented by Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield here at Penmen Stadium. Southern New Hampshire 2-1 lead over Bentley here on coverage of Penmen Soccer on Fox College Sports. Now it's time to take a look at what else is going on around the Northeast 10 tonight. A couple finals from earlier. St. Anselm picking up some valuable points. Stonehill Assumption doing the same. And that St. Rose Franklin Pierce game, an interesting one at halftime, potentially helping the Southern New Hampshire squad.
Yeah, all of a sudden that's an opportunity with a good result here, coupled with that Franklin Pierce loss, obviously would propel Southern New Hampshire to the top spot, at least tied for the top spot with St. Rose. That's a good start, obviously, for the Golden Knights out there. Stonehill with a win earlier tonight. AIC, they need to rack up some points. That's a big one between them and Pace, and Adelphi New Haven, scoreless at the half there in West Haven. So good look at what's going on around the league, and boy, I mean, this league, just 1 through 10. I mean, Bentley's a team right now on the outside looking in, just speaks to the depth of this conference this season. Any given night, it's cliche to say, you get the feeling like that's the case in 2018.
Oh, we'll absolutely have to keep an eye on that St. Rose Franklin Pierce game. Could potentially have a three-way tie for first place in the Northeast 10 come the end of tonight. It is the 24th ranked Penmen 2, the Bentley Falcons 1. We'll take another timeout and preview a look at the second half between Southern New Hampshire and Bentley. This is coverage of Penmen Soccer here on Fox College Sports.
All right, fans, it's time for tonight's Penmen T-shirt toss. Turn your attention down onto the track and make some noise if you want a Penmen Pride T-shirt.
Toss into a break out of this, right?
We're tossing a break out of this. Welcome back to Halftime, presented by Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield, here on coverage of Penmen soccer on Fox College Sports. Welcome back here inside the booth at Penmen Stadium alongside Jacob Van Ryn. Ben Altsche here with you this evening. Thanks for joining us. Jacob, a 2-1 lead for Southern New Hampshire here at halftime. They struck back quickly after Bentley took a 1-0 lead. How do the Penmen keep it rolling in the second half?
More possession, I think, for Southern New Hampshire. They got to maintain the ball on their side. When Bentley's gotten some opportunities, been sort of those quick counters, they've used the right side of the field to their advantage. I think for Southern New Hampshire, tighten it up a little bit defensively. I thought we saw that as the first half wore on. I think we expect to see more of the same in the second half. We talked about it moments ago. Every point is valuable. And let's be honest, they need, speaking of the Penmen, to come away with 3 points here tonight.
Absolutely. Can't rely on just the one-goal advantage. We saw Southern New Hampshire probe for more. They'll look to do more of that in the second half. One more time out here on the halftime, presented by Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield. Back with more here on coverage of Penmen soccer on Fox College Sports. Ready for the start of the second half here from Penmen Stadium on the campus of Southern New Hampshire University in Manchester, New Hampshire, and coverage of Penmen soccer here on Fox College Sports. Ben Altsche, Jacob Van Ryn with you here on a beautiful Wednesday night from Southern New Hampshire as the Penmen lead Bentley 2-1 starting the second half. And this one played back in the direction of the Penmen keeper, Hannah Rose. Bentley putting some early high pressure on the Penmen defense to start the second half.
Be interesting to see how Bentley plays this as we go forward, if they like to continue to push some more offensive players forward, which could lead to some great counter opportunities for Southern New Hampshire.
We saw Bentley get a couple of early opportunities inside the box. A couple players go knee to knee here, and the official's going to put a stop to the clock here as he goes to check on both players. Just a hard collision there between Sydney Crema and Carly Kohler.
Oof, that stings. You could feel that from up here almost. You just see it happen. Great look from our crew there. You're absolutely right. Just the right leg and the left leg come together. And, I know you have those shin guards on, but that still stings, especially if you get it right on that kneecap.
Taking a look back at some of the numbers from the first half, Southern New Hampshire doubled up Bentley in total shots, 12-6. Only 2 shots on goal for the Falcons, but They did get one of them to go in. Here's an early cross in toward the box in the direction of Helen. It escapes through her. Settled there by Maylee Cherry. Couldn't fire on goal, though. Southern New Hampshire scrambling back defensively. This cross knocked away by Crema. And she'll start the outlet for Southern New Hampshire. Humphreys couldn't slow it up. And over to close out is Chloe Gizzy.
Very aggressive start to the second half for Bentley out of the locker room.
Well, this is the adjustment for the Falcons. Again, trying to find a way to break through here. They scored the opening goal, but then quickly gave up an equalizer. And Southern New Hampshire, less than 2 minutes after tying it 1-1, took a 2-1 lead and really did not look back for much of that first half.
No, I thought they were the better side during the first 45. I mean, quite frankly, they had that lapse early, but since that time, they were clearly the better team.
Well, this has been a series that has been dominated by the Penmen going back over a decade. 14-5-3 all-time against Bentley over the last 11 matches. Southern New Hampshire 8-0-3 all-time. The Falcons have not won against Southern New Hampshire since 2007.
That's going back a few years.
Certainly back before Ellie Montero took over this Penmen program. This one knocked out of play by Emily Rowan.
He is, I can't say enough about Coach Montero. He is just an A-plus person, A-plus coach, and just an A-plus person all the way around.
Here's a cross from Cherry out of the reach. Looked like McDonald, who was coming in the backside there for Bentley. Knocked down, though, by Goulet in the midfield. Can't control it for long. Here is Glarud back in on it. Back out to start the second half, looking to get around Gizzy with a burst of speed. Has Humphreys racing up the middle. Glarud takes it all the way to the end line. Just too heavy a touch there, and she knew it, too.
She is faster with the ball at her feet than most players are just running side by side. She is just blistering quick. You saw there, she made that run with possession on the far side, and just a bit out of her reach there with the touch, and she was frustrated with that effort, but boy, she is special.
Well, and deceptive speed as well there.
It's such a big frame. I mean, oftentimes, she's good size. You think, all right, maybe not going to be that quick, but she is just extremely, elusive and explosive.
We saw the skills with the ball on display earlier as this one just clipped out of bounds on the far side. Be a throw in for Southern New Hampshire.
8 freshmen on the roster, for the Penmen, and a lot of them play. So it bodes very well for the future of this program. I mean, the future is now, quite frankly, with the success where they are, coming into this game with a mark of 9-3 on the season overall. But this is a team that is built to not just be successful in 2018, I should say, and beyond. This program, with this facility, this place, they are not going anywhere anytime soon.
Well, and they've got some additions coming into the fold. They've got Sydney Crema's younger sister, Olivia, sitting out a transfer year, going to certainly get involved into the mix next season. Southern New Hampshire retaining possession. This one played in the direction of Royce, tries to settle it. Humphreys couldn't get the shot away. It was blocked back. Controlled, though, again by the Penmen. Here's Ariana Sylvia.
Thought that was Roy's best sequence of the night.
Peliquin gives it back. Sylvia touches around a defender, tries to race past another. A shot, she scores! Sylvia zigs, zags, fires it home. 3-1 Penmen.
Very well done. Impossible, shot for Perkins to make a play on. That's just too good. That's just when you tip your cap. Once that ball got through there, once she was able to beat the defender, again, the Penmen getting opportunities, doing a good job in the middle. Oh, great first touch there with the right foot, and then she does the rest.
Silvio just with that little last burst of speed to create the opening for the shot. First goal of the year for the senior from Brockton, known more for her defensive capabilities in the midfield, but getting a nice little charge through the middle there and able to put one in the back of the net.
That first touch, just beating the defender there, really, just taking her, changing direction like that. That was undefendable, quite frankly. And then once she got that great shot on net, a great job by Sylvia there for the third goal of the game for Southern New Hampshire.
So this is what you talked about sort of late in the first half as Southern New Hampshire was continuing to press Jacob. Bentley could not afford to fall behind 3-1. Well, now here they are with 40 minutes to go, and the Falcons really up against it here. Helen tries to play it in, nearly a handball.
Oh, boy. I thought that was a handball.
Boy, Sparta may have gotten away with one there. This one crossed in toward the back. Valente settles, chips, Rose gets a piece, and Fitzgerald clears it out.
Quite a 15-second stretch there. You know, for Southern New Hampshire, again, these loose balls in their goal area have got to be cleaned up. These are opportunities against teams going forward in conference tournament play and certainly in NCAA tournament play that they will take advantage of, and that's got to be a cause for concern for Ellie and his staff. That being said, they're doing enough to prevent really quality opportunities, but when the ball is free, they've got to be cleaner on that back line.
Nearly able to find a way to put one in there as they rallied quickly off of the non-handball call. And another one looked like it may have been missed there as Lauren Bean put it into the body of Sylvia.
And I'm not, you know, I'm not one of those people that thinks handball should be called all the times. But I thought there was intent there, quite frankly, and I think that's where that needs to be whistled. Southern Hampshire, no complaints, obviously, with a no call.
Well, a close one nonetheless, and a missed opportunity for Bentley to have a chance to make it a one-goal game once again. Bean tripped up, so a free kick for the Falcons here from midfield.
We talked about it in the first half. Oftentimes the best time to get a goal is when the other team has just scored. And it was nearly just that. We saw it from Southern Hampshire in the first half, and it was nearly the same for Bentley here in the second half.
And giving up that goal can sometimes send the alarm bells off on the other side. Gizzy's free kick quickly cleared back out by Rowan. It'll be a throw in here for Keegan Castles. A lot of those reserves who came on for Lauren Lucas getting the start here in the second half. Cherry's cross attempt blocked out by Rowan. Just the second corner kick of the night here for Bentley. Castles will go over to take it as the Falcons set up the stack play at the top of the box.
Yeah, we saw a lot of motion their last corner opportunity in similar type situation here. They went short corner. See what they do here.
Now they send runners, bending ball toward the middle, and Rose rips it down.
Boy, they had exactly what they wanted there. I didn't see who it was for Bentley, but she had the goal just sealed beautifully. I think it might have been for the Falcons. It might have been Stephanie Helen, who was right in the face of Rose and just couldn't get anything on it.
And Rose just kind of came over the top and ripped that ball away. This one headed along here by Glarud on the counterattack. Racing down toward the end line. The cross chipped in, volleyed back out. Gizzy getting to it, but gives up the corner in the process. An early sub here for Southern New Hampshire, as Fitzgerald will come out. Check that, actually. Fitzgerald just going over to talk to Ellie Montero. As you get a look at Rose, was a little bit shaken up maybe in a collision with Helen there on that last corner.
Well, she's had a lot of action in her box area. So
here's Kreml with a left-footed try. Loose ball out the back. Glarud will recover. Not able to keep it in play. And the offside flag up, in fact, for the Penmen there.
That was the reason why you saw some of the Bentley players, obviously with their hands extended, arms towards the sky, and a little bit of miscommunication defensively there by Bentley. They're fortunate Southern New Hampshire didn't get a better chance.
Looks like the Penmen shifting things up a little bit. They might be going to a four-player back line to try to play it a little bit safer here with a two-goal lead. This one played up the line, caught in the feet of Valente, able to pull it out of traffic. Now pressured from behind by Fitzgerald. Chipped along, was looking for an overlapping run from Cherry, but those two not on the same page that time. And it'll be a goal kick coming up here for the Penmen. So we take a look at Southern New Hampshire, Penmen.com, SNHU, Penmen.com, your official home for all things SNHU Penmen, including news, stats, highlights, videos, and more. Visit SNHUPenmen.com today. Starting to get to an exciting time as we're reaching the end of the fall sports season and building towards the winter where we get basketball and hockey into the mix as well.
Crossovers, we call it exciting. Those that work in the schools call it a nightmare. Obviously a lot going on, and everybody here at Southern New Hampshire, outstanding job. News site, relatively speaking, looks terrific, and definitely great time of year with those terrific basketball seasons waiting in the wings, and get you about a month away from tip-off of the 18-19 campaign for both men's and women's squads here at Southern New Hampshire.
Well, and at least what we've seen from the men's and women's soccer teams, both Penmen squads hope to be playing deep into October and into November as well.
It's going to be a very fun next 6 weeks or so here in Manchester.
Played back in the direction of Amber Sicard, the sophomore who was the sub who came on for Southern New Hampshire. She's at that left wingback spot. Southern New Hampshire switching to a 4-player back line, but it's Bentley on the attack here. The cross in, knocked away that time by Kara Easter. Settled back and played out to safety by Sicard.
Again, that right side has been Bentley's just calling card this evening. They've exploited it. They've gotten their best chances working on along that far sideline right now.
Play back in the direction of McDonald, sent toward the top of the box, flick on header. Cherry not able to beat Rose to the loose ball, and again, Rose sustains some contact, getting tied up with her teammate Fitzgerald.
Good job by Rose, though, coming off that line and getting her hands on it. I thought Fitzgerald did a good job to seal the Bentley attacker, her chance on it, but good job by Rose. Making a play on the ball.
It's been an outstanding season for the Ontario native. Has given up more than one goal in a game just once all season. That was a 4-3 loss for the Penmen here against Franklin Pierce. And that was a sort of landmark game. It was the first home loss for Southern New Hampshire in 2 seasons. They had been unbeaten in 13 consecutive matches on their home field, be it here at Penmen Stadium or their old home on campus at Larkin Field.
Some talk about how excited they were to move across the way here. They were so successful over there across the street that if it ain't broke, don't try and fix it. But then you look at this place and say, this is too good.
Absolutely. This one played into space. Cherry lines up the cross, spins it back with the left foot. The volley off the mark from Goulet, settled by Helen. Her try just wide.
Good strike, good chance. Good opportunity and well done by Helen. Just missed it by about a couple feet. You take a look at Rose, and she's had a rough night tonight. She's been very active, and you take a look at where something might have happened here.
Just a little follow-up on the free kick, and yeah, you see the grimace.
Oof, it's a great look by our crew there, and something happened there. Her right leg looks like. See a holding her right thigh, and she's been involved and on the deck probably more than she would have liked coming into tonight.
Well, it looks like she's going to continue to try to gut through here as Peliquin coming back on for Southern New Hampshire. Some of the regulars in the attack getting back in the fold. A throw in here for Fitzgerald. Glarud tied up, tries to find her way out of space. Fitzgerald able to keep it in play for the moment. Touched out wide by Gizzy. Was appealing for a Bentley possession, but it'll be another throw here for Southern New Hampshire. Now, really, no matter where the Penmen have played this season, they've come out with a solid record. 4-1 at home, 4-1 in true road games, 1-1 in neutral site contests. And they have challenged themselves at every turn, inside and outside the Northeast 10 Conference.
Well, that was exactly what I was going to say. That loss at home was the first game of the year, so they've won 4 straight since.
There's a shot on, save made Perkins. And McDonald clears it out. Glarud again at the forefront of that rush.
I think she has a chance, and obviously we talked about Kearney coming into this one. I think Glarud has a chance to be an absolute superstar. She might be already, but her skill set, her size, really separates her in this league.
Well, it's a tough one. You got 2 players on the same team who might be vying for the Conference Rookie of the Year award come the end of the season.
Stonehill's got a good one, too. Cameron Thompson's had an outstanding campaign for there.
Wonderful turn here by Valente on the move. Valente cuts it back, and it pinballs its way to Rose. Just a bad break for Valente that time, who had a beautiful dummy to break things out. And a late close by Snook.
Yeah, I thought
break it up.
I thought Snook did a good job there just to get a piece of it, just to get enough of that, to alter and to break up that run.
And again, Bentley finding opportunity going forward that time. Helen had a good try moments ago. Valente, who had the goal in the first half for the Falcons with the rush there. This has not been a game where Southern New Hampshire has deprived Bentley of any opportunities.
I was thinking the same thing. If you just joining us, you look at the score, you say, all right, Southern New Hampshire, they're rolling, they're coming in, they're the hot team, they're ranked, 24th in the country. All systems go. This has been a tour de force performance. Bentley's had some real quality chances tonight throughout. And I think that's worrisome for Southern New Hampshire.
Foul called here as Humphreys committed the violation.
That just to put a bookmark in that being said, you lead by 2 goals, with just over 30 minutes left. So you take your chances where you're at, obviously. And Southern New Hampshire, great counter after Bentley got the first goal of the game. They've scored 3 unanswered. They've clearly been the better team tonight. But for Bentley, for a team that's coming in, among the bottom basically half of the conference standings, they've acquitted themselves quite nicely. Coach Montero, although his team has a 3-1 advantage, I think some things to tighten up over there.
Well, certainly a very different tempo from Bentley's last game, in which they played one of those other teams in that grouping of 3 tied for second place coming in, a St. Rose team that picked up a 1-0 win over Bentley. In that game, there were only 4 total shots on goal. We saw that probably in the first 10 minutes tonight.
No doubt about that. And that was a game St. Rose was celebrating their national champion team. You wonder what the focus was, their mindset was for the Golden Knights, whatever. But Bentley's a team that, oftentimes the record doesn't indicate how good they are. They make you earn everything. They battle, and that was certainly the Penmen, mantra coming into tonight, that, they might be down in the bottom third of the standings. They're a good quality opponent. We've seen that tonight.
Here's Sylvia, who has the lone goal in the second half, sending one into the box. Humphreys a little late to get the run started, and so Perkins pulls it down and will look to spark a counter here for Bentley.
Yeah, and Bentley is going to have to take some chances here. You're starting to think about where time becomes a factor. You've obviously got to get 2 goals here over the last 28-plus minutes to send this one into overtime. So they need to take some chances here. They need points. We talked about Southern New Hampshire trying to win a league title and whatnot, but Bentley, they're trying to find a way back into the postseason once again this season.
Snook will clear this one out, headed away by Castles. Bean unable to win it away from Sylvia. And again, back to the safety of Sparta.
Sylvia's done a very good job patrolling the midfield here in the second half.
Now ventured forward for that rush for the goal, and now is sort of back in her trademark defensive midfield role. Here's Peliquin looking for options. Chipped it up the middle, out of the reach of Humphreys. Glarud going to give this one a look. Perkins stayed on the line, got back in front, and it's knocked away. Glarud sort of splitting the difference that time, had Humphreys and Crema, and just sort of put it between the two.
That's the difference right now between Rose and Perkins, quite frankly. Rose has come off her line to make a play on that ball. Perkins let that ball sort of play her, got caught in between. Very fortunate Southern New Hampshire didn't get a better chance.
Valente puts on the brakes here, sends it up the line. Helen will make a run after it. Lined up out there with Sparta. They'll make that Snook, who knocks it out. Bentley will take the throw. Donlin coming back into the ball game, replacing Helen. And Frizzetti returning for Southern New Hampshire as Glarud gets an early breather. And remember, in college, the substitutions in the second half can basically come and go as they please. In the first half, once you sub out, you can't re-enter. That changes in the second half. Here's a bending ball headed away, not quite out of play yet, kept in by the Penmen for the moment. Peliquin continues to move it along and able to dance her way out of trouble. Gives it back up to Goulet. Cut into the middle here for Bean. Played off of Donlin and cleared back out once more. Gizzy does well to steer around Humphreys. Pass intended for Cherry, fired back the other direction by Fitzgerald. And this will bring Perkins all the way out. Just about midway through the second half, Southern New Hampshire extending its lead to 3-1 here in the second half. The goal from Ariana Sylvia, her first of the season, only the third of her career. We mentioned sort of how she has fit into her role in this Penmen team, and it usually hasn't been as an offensive threat, but it was a wonderful display from her to put one in the back.
And that was her playing this ball forward, setting up the chance.
Crema tries to cut it back, gets pulled down inside the box. No call there. And I think both teams now may have a case for possible penalties that were not called. Gizzy heads this one away for the moment.
Officials don't do that, Ben. I don't know what you're talking about.
As this one knocked out of play. Well, certainly Crema was appealing for the foul call that time.
We were a considerable distance away, but there looked like there was some contact over there on the far side.
Crema with 2 assists already tonight, was looking for a third there. Little jersey tug there as it's cleared out by the Falcons. Here's Donlin.
Thought that was good 1v1 defense, actually. Thought that was a good play, and there was some contact, definitely, but not enough to warrant a foul.
Well, certainly it has been a physical game at times, and that's how both teams like to play defensively. Here's Humphreys. Gets around a defender, tries to play it into space. Humphrey's going to keep on going, getting back in the way as McDonald. And she's able to rescue this one out to safety for the Falcons.
Good individual effort there defensively by McDonald. Could have been another great chance for Southern New Hampshire if they could have, freed that ball up, but McDonald preventing that chance from occurring.
Maybe a little bit of indecision that time. Humphreys may not have realized how close Crema was there. This one played into Humphreys off the turn. Frizzetti, the deflection. It's going to go out wide for a goal kick.
She's got a couple chances today. She's going to look back and wish she had a better strike on the ball.
In for Bentley, number 10, Emma Guccione.
Emma Guccione returns, replacing Lauren Bean. And Jerry, who got her first run here at the start of the second half, will head back out. As it is, looks like Hiller coming back on. Guccione will chase this one down, move it back in the direction of the defender as it is played out wide by Valente and out of play. Just not enough room to work with along the sideline. Penmen will bring on another sub as well. Glarud, quick breather on the bench, and she's right back out there replacing Humphreys.
Got about 3 minutes over there, didn't she?
She's got a smile on her face. She's ready to go again.
What a find she was. I speak with the staff and how they found a way to bring her to campus, but she is terrific, and she is really impressed. The freshman from Norway has been arguably the best player on the field tonight.
Goulet will start it up here for Bentley into space, looking for Donlin to make a run. Donlin just goes right up the back of Sparta, and this will roll out. It'll be a throw-in for the Falcons, so Donlin able to at least accomplish getting possession forward here for Bentley. Throw-in settled by Hiller. Racing toward the end line. Here comes the cross in toward the direction of Valente. Settled, but not fired on. And the Penmen again able to work it out clear. Peliquin tied up for a moment, has to dance around the official as well. And we got a whistle and a foul there as they found their way out after a loss to Franklin Pierce, but then a big win over Adelphi gets them right back in the national conversation.
And testament to the staff and this department and everyone in terms of putting together the quality schedule that they have.
Free kick, Rose unable to make a clean catch, but dives back onto the loose ball.
You're talking about playing Mercy, as you talked about, coming in ranked third in the country, and LA Post a perennial power. I mean, they are a year in and year out NCAA tournament type program. So, certainly Coach Montero and his staff say we want to play everybody and certainly boost that resume as you think about an at-large bid for an NCAA tournament berth. They've certainly done enough to warrant serious consideration.
It's a little bit interesting. 2 games in a row against the same opponent, but with an offseason in between.
Right.
Southern New Hampshire saw its NCAA tournament run fall in a battle against Mercy last year. A second-round matchup. Here's Glarud with another nice play to keep it in along the sideline. Able to cut around the defender. Glarud feeds it into the middle, and it just ran through. Intended for Frizzetti. Unable to fire away that time. Here's Peliquin on the turn. The crossover headed away and will be controlled by the Falcons. Back to Castles. Valente the outlet. Plays it into open space. But Snook is back there to cut it off. Gives back to Rose, who immediately fires it back out to midfield.
I've been impressed with Snook tonight. She's been very steady.
And that's really where Southern New Hampshire has its experience with Snook and Sparta, a junior and a senior. The back line and the midfield.
And that's tough playing with a freshman keeper. The communication on that back line obviously so imperative to a team's success. So it's an interesting dynamic to watch. And it was, with Rose being a freshman keeper, she's really got to be the leader back there, even though she's playing with teammates that have been here for 3 or 4 years.
Certainly has shown confidence, coming out and being aggressive, dealing with a lot of those crosses, corner kicks, free kicks, etc. that find their way into the penalty area. This one played forward and hammered back out, a play by Sparta. Just under 20 minutes remaining in regulation. Southern New Hampshire 3, Bentley 1 here on Fox College Sports. The Penmen trailed 1-0 in the 6th minute, but scored in the 7th, scored again in the 8th, and once here in the second half to extend the lead to 2 goals. And They seem very comfortable right now with this 2-goal lead, Jacob.
Just need to be clean and not allow any silly giveaways, silly careless turnovers with the ball leading to a chance for the Falcons. I think if you're Southern New Hampshire, you feel pretty good about where you are as we run under 20 minutes left here.
And the Penmen have looked for their opportunities to counter. Here is Frizzetti slipping it into the top of the box. Peliquin bumped down inside, still loose. Peliquin back to her feet, able to turn it back toward the top. Settled down there. The rolling shot and a diving save made by Perkins. Still loose as Frizzetti's try was denied. Blocked down inside by Gizzy and finally cleared out to safety for the moment.
I thought that was Perkins' best effort of the night. She did a very good job there, diving to her right and just punching that ball aside. That was earmarked for the 4th goal of the game for Southern New Hampshire.
Denying Frizzetti her 5th of the year. And here come the Penmen again. Frizzetti to Glarud. Peliquin thought about slipping it inside to Crema. Peliquin shot and a save by Perkins there.
Good effort there with a left foot off Peliquin. Take a look at Perkins here. Is pretty good opportunity. Shot didn't really tail away from her as much as I thought it had, but good work by her nonetheless.
Had to read it well and able to parry it away, moving to her right. As Frizzetti got a clean look at goal. Here's Glarud one-on-one. Stood up by Gizzy. Glarud able to turn around. Right-footed shot just off the outside of the post and wide. Perkins may have got a fingertip to it. But there's Glarud. Almost at her 2nd of the night.
Give me all the stock you got in her. I think she's a superstar. She has been just outstanding tonight. And again, 1-2 punch of her and Carney up front as freshmen. Oh, boy.
Crema returning here for Southern New Hampshire. Amber Sicard also back on there as part of that back line. Little slip here is...
Dew starting to roll out, it seems. You can see it in the sort of lights fixture here. It might be a little damp down there on the surface.
Well, and it doesn't take much for the field turf sometimes to become a little bit slick.
I can't get over how good this facility looks. I've been here a handful of times, so this is, this is as good a place as you'll find to play college soccer in the Northeast.
Well, the Penmen certainly hope to be using it as home field advantage come the postseason. Mentioned Southern New Hampshire an opportunity to pull into a tie with Franklin Pierce and perhaps St. Rose for first place tonight. Crema able to shake loose for a moment, slips it inside. Glarud on the turn, able to win the corner.
And obviously men's team having the success on their side. We could have a busy early November with the way these two teams are playing right now.
Crema will set up the corner. It's Perkins with an eye to follow it. Peliquin over in case Crema wants to play it short, and she will. Quickly given back. Crema's left-footed entry toward the back in the direction of Orion Homan. And now Homan takes the pass. Left-footed shot just lifted up over the top.
I'm not a fan of playing those corners short, I'll be honest. And I get the opportunity, I'm putting it in front of the goal.
In that case, the short corner played just to basically set up Crema in a different position to get that cross, but you like the immediate sort of chaos of a corner kick.
Exactly. That's a very good word for it. I've just seen too many times and too often the ball just sort of pinball about in front of the goal and end up resulting in a goal, quite frankly. And that's how I do it. But a lot of coaches and a lot of teams, at another handball situation that we didn't have called down there as play resumes, a lot of teams like to play that short, trying to set up some sort of attack.
Glarud able to take it towards the corner here, down off the chest. Lines up the defender. A second one comes over, and good help from the back that time. As Bentley able to win it away from the talented first-year Glarud. Donlin fires it up ahead. Controlled for the moment. It's like Victoria Montemurano getting in the mix. Just their 3rd game of the season for the junior from upstate New York.
I actually thought that was a really good touch by her. Did a good job to settle it and set up a teammate there.
Shots have evened out a little bit. Still significant edge for Southern New Hampshire. They were out shooting Bentley 12-6 at halftime. Now 18-10. So 6-4 in the second half, if my math is correct. I hope you'll double check me on that.
Oh, because yours is probably better than mine, quite frankly. But, you know, I think if you're Bentley coming in, you say you have 10 chances, you probably would have taken that. You know, you get that early goal, and they've had some chances against a, you know, really quality opponent here tonight in Southern New Hampshire.
Ali Montero continues to cycle his rotation. Shea Roy's coming back in as Peliquin headed to the side. Here's Donlin trying to turn on Snook. It's knocked out. Who got the last touch? It was off Donlin. So it'll be a goal kick here for the Penmen. We take a look at how you can help support your Penmen. Make a donation online at alumni.snhu.edu/Penmen. Fans can make a donation to any team specifically or make a general gift to enhance facilities and increase scholarships. And part of that donation can help go to beautiful new facilities like this one.
I'm all for that. Make your donations now. No, this place is spectacular. I've been privy to be up here enough over the last couple of years while they were building this, and it's surpassed my wildest expectations for it, quite frankly.
Well, as you can see, the progress coming along, certainly very impressive. As an easy shot, and Rose just going to fall on top of it here. Guccione just putting one in the general direction of goal there.
It's funny, I was speaking with Coach Montero before the game, and he said, I asked him about this place because we sort of joked, a year ago about the building of it and how much success they'd had across the way, and being sort of a little bit hesitant to move over here because they'd been so successful over there at Larkin Field. And he said, you don't really appreciate it or understand, what it's like and how great this facility is until you see other teams come in here and walk around and stand at midfield and take pictures with their cell phones and whatnot about how beautiful and how nice this place is. And he said that's when you really remember, wow, we are lucky to call this place home.
Falcons able to win a corner kick here, and it's not just the field, the lights, sort of the overwhelming atmosphere. It's the locker rooms and the whole entire setup and what the players get to use on a day-to-day basis.
The weight room is
this one put in the back as Bentley able to generate an opportunity off the corner there, and the Falcons have cut it back to a one-goal game.
And again, quick restart out of the corner. They hustled, put numbers forward. They get a goal.
Stephanie Helen, it looks like, able to sneak one through there for the Falcons. We'll get a look here.
There's a short restart.
And they played the short corner.
Shows what you know.
And this was Helen just putting it in front. We'll see if they give Donlin credit for the goal on the redirect there.
I think they have to, right? Yeah. That's fun for the scorers here. She'll take it. You got to put your hands up there and say, yeah, that was me, right?
Well, Donlin was sandwiched by two Southern New Hampshire defenders. It certainly deflected off of somebody. The question is who. So as it stands, we think Helen may get credit for it. If so, it would be her team-leading 6th goal of the year. If Donlin gets credit, it's her first of the season. But either way, an important one for Bentley because, it kind of felt like this game had really gotten away from them, and now all it takes is one more bounce, and Bentley's got an equalizer.
And again, Bentley, that's a, if you're thinking about Southern New Hampshire, you're thinking long-term. That's a careless ball. That's a careless play. Ball's in front of the net. You got to clear that. You got to find a way to get it out of there. Good teams take advantage. That time Bentley did just that, and now we got a new game.
Just the second time all season that Hannah Rose has been scored on twice in a game. Now, Bentley has found a way through for the second time, but they need a third in order to potentially force extra time here. This long ball over the top in the direction of Valente, but knocked away by Sparta back out to midfield.
You're seeing the urgency now from the Falcons, Ben, as they look to get that third goal.
Now that corner kick and the score by either Donlin or Helen certainly serving to build momentum. Here's Valente towing the line, able to keep it in, knocked it off Snook, and then just kind of shoulders her off position to win yet another corner.
And Southern Hampshire needs to regroup here. Right now, Bentley's the hungrier team. They're playing with more passion. They're playing with more energy. Southern Hampshire needs to regroup quickly.
So they do give Donlin credit for the goal, her first of the year. Helen and Millman will get credit. Here's Millman's corner. It bounces down inside. A shot blocked in front off of Goulet and cleared out by the Penmen. Here's Glarud. 2-on-2 up the field. Glarud looking to race around Gizzy here. Puts her legs to work. She's got a free runner up the middle. Here's the pass. Settled and knocked away. Iris with the save that time. As she knocked it away from Humphreys, who just looked down for a moment to try to settle. And perhaps a goal-saving breakup by Megan Iris.
Regardless of outcome, Coach Montero's not going to be thrilled with his team's, I don't want to say sloppiness, that might be too strong a word, but just some careless breakdowns on the back line. There have been some chances for Bentley, and not to take anything away from Bentley, because this is a good Bentley side. This is a good group. It's an upper-class group. They have 5 seniors, 9 juniors, all of which play a pretty considerable portion for them. So they've got some experience on their side, but it's not been an A-plus, especially defensive effort tonight from Southern New Hampshire.
Goulet trying to muscle one along. They put it too far in front for Helen. We got a whistle and a foul behind the play as Valente was roughed up. So a free kick on the offensive side of midfield. Under 10 minutes to go, and Bentley's going to try to put some pressure on this Southern New Hampshire back line, which is broken up a little bit at times here tonight.
Numbers forward here, a lot of blue shirts.
Almost everybody in front of the ball here, and Gizzy sends the free kick in toward the box. Headed down. Millman couldn't control it. Races out to recover.
A good thought there by Millman, though, to try to run through that, trying to play almost that redirect.
Another sub coming on here for the Falcons.
In for Bentley, number 3, Amanda Andriano.
Amanda Andriano returns. Another offensive weapon added to the mix as Monte Morano comes out. Quick throw in for Millman. Helen's shot, and Rose will pick it up off the deflection. Smart play by the freshman there, not allowing the corner kick.
Yeah, she knew it was last touched by her teammate, and wisely hopped off and scooped it up.
Headed on, Gizzy controls, looks for an option out. McDonald has to chase this one a little bit with some pressure from Crema. Rolling into the middle. Kohler picks it up there, has to go back to Gizzy though. Fitzgerald cuts this one out. And it'll roll out of play. Bentley will take the throw. Throw into Donlin. Looks to get it up the field quickly. Deflected by Snook, but Sparta able to find the loose ball first. Nearly given away, but now it's controlled, and here comes the counter for Southern New Hampshire. Hard slide tackle by Gizzy to win the ball, and she's quickly back to her feet. Bentley on the move again. Goulet knocked away at midfield. Donlin makes herself available. Donlin working down that left side, tried to feed it into the middle, but again, Snook steps up to wipe it away. Gizzy volleys it back forward. Headed away by Sparta. Goulet out wide for Andriano. Turns, knocked away by Sicard. And Andriano deflects it out. A throw in here for the Penmen, who have to start thinking about how to delay a little bit here.
I was thinking the same exact thing as you said. That start thinking about putting the ball down, letting somebody else take that throw, and just begin to bleed that clock as much as you can.
One by Andriano on the back check. Gizzy settles. Again, Bentley just trying to do whatever it can to get forward. Nifty little turn here by Valente. She's on the move. Valente, the cross into open space. Nobody able to catch up to it. Now it's cut back in front, and it's Snook again getting to the loose ball.
She's had a nose for the ball tonight. Snook's done a very good job of deflecting and sort of interrupting a lot of potential chances for the Falcons.
Donlin makes herself available. Chip back down the line. Millman and Helen making a run. Millman just a step too late as it went out of bounds.
Southern Hampshire needs to. There's still a lot of time left, relatively speaking, in the one-goal game here, and Southern Hampshire's got to match Bentley's level right now of effort on the surface. I think Bentley's played harder over the last 10 minutes or so, especially getting that second goal to give them some life. They've carried that forward, and they've been the better side over the last 5 or 6 minutes.
Now that goal off of the corner kick certainly giving them life. It was Helen who eventually set it up. Donlin credited for it on the deflection. First of the year for Kelly Donlin. And what was a 2-goal game and an almost apparent runaway for Southern New Hampshire, now back into a 1-goal affair.
I said earlier, if Southern Hampshire was able to take a 2-goal lead, it was hard to fathom a way in which Bentley could come back. Well, we're seeing just that. They're very much in this contest.
Allison Patterson has this one knocked out of bounds. It'll be a throw in for Bentley. Another sub coming on for the Falcons here, as Maylee Cherry will return and replace the goal scorer, Donlin.
I'm surprised that Donlin's coming out. I'm not questioning the substitution whatsoever, but surprised because I feel like Donlin's played very well for them tonight.
Maybe just looking for some
Just
fresh legs here with 5 minutes to go.
Because Donlin's been up and down, absolutely running the length of the field numerous times.
Flick on header for Valente, unable to catch up to it though as Sparta moves it back forward. Settled down for a moment by Glarud. Patterson back to Royce. Quick little give and go here. Royce will chase down this loose ball as a teammate out wide. Southern New Hampshire maybe looking to put one away here. Slip back in front. Royce sets shot. It was deflected and then deflected off the outside of the post. I think a Bentley defender just got enough of a touch to help knock it away. Now the Penmen have hit a couple posts here in the second half, even after taking the 3-1 lead, and they've had some opportunities to score more here. Bentley's done just enough on the defensive side of things. Saw Perkins make a great diving save earlier. Here's Cherry. Tried to find Helen, but she was caught up. Fitzgerald took it away.
Probably should have played that down the line where Helen was making the run.
Knocked out of bounds by Glarud. Long throw in. Comes to Helen. Tried to volley it back toward the middle. Helen will settle it here. Looking to get a cross in. It's knocked away. Helen will let it roll out, and it just finds the end line and will be a corner kick.
Some chance here for the Falcons off a set piece.
Everybody coming forward here for Bentley.
You can hear him calling out play 3.
Helen knocks it short on the through ball. Comes all the way back out. Helen squares the cross in toward the back post. Headed away. Not cleared out of danger yet. Cherry will chase down the loose ball. Move back over and a miscommunication there. As now Southern New Hampshire on the break. Humphreys fires it into open space. Long run here for Royce. Roy's waiting. Humphreys making a run up the middle. Roy's tried to cut it back. Had it knocked away by Goulet, who came back a long way to cover up there for the Falcons.
Yeah, and Bentley there, a good job not giving up on that play, obviously, but they should have served the ball right back in immediately with so many numbers in the Penmen box area.
Now Bentley trying to put the pressure on, played all the way back to Rose. Sitting just outside the box, chipped forward, dangerous ball. Andriano almost came in and intercepted it.
Again, Bentley's played harder over the last 10 minutes or so in Southern New Hampshire. They got to find a way to gut this one out. This is real gut check time now for a quality team in the Penmen. They need to, find and match this level of intensity that Bentley's played with over the last 10 minutes.
Just under 3 minutes remaining. The Falcons trying to find a way to get forward for one more. Humphreys holding it up here. Tries to cross it over to Glarud. Off the touch, Glarud has to come back for it. Plays it into open space. Long run down the far side there. Knocked out. And going to be a corner kick, it looks like, for Southern New Hampshire. So this really an opportunity now for the Penmen to kill some valuable seconds off the clock.
Yeah, take your time here, get organized. You see Crema going over there to take it, but I imagine she'll talk things over and they'll take some time here.
Crema the soft touch into Patterson. They're just going to sit on it by the corner flag here. So they try to wind down the final seconds. Bentley with a quick throw in. Andriano hammers it up the field, but there's no one up there for Bentley. So Sparta will have some time to sit on this. Crosses it over to Fitzgerald, and it'll skip out off the turf. Minute 40 to go here for the Falcons to try to find one more. Looked like it took a hop off the forearm of Helen. And Southern New Hampshire able to win possession as Royce plays it into space. Here's Glarud coming up the back of Gizzy and able to win the possession. Played it in toward the box, and Perkins quickly off her line in order to pick that one up.
Glarud comes up a little bit gimpy as well.
It's been certainly a A-plus effort night for the freshman from Norway. Sylvia got pulled a little bit there. Bentley able to win back possession. Minute to go. Another throw in for the Falcons. Southern New Hampshire not out of the woods just yet.
Trying to just put together one really good chance here over the last 60 seconds or so.
Throw in toward the top of the box, headed back out, knocked down. Here comes the cross in. Cherry the only one there. Snook fired it out, but gives up a corner in the process.
Now you bring everybody forward and take your chances.
Under 40 seconds to go. This may be the last opportunity for the Falcons, and it's sailed just wide.
That's a tough mistake there to make in that circumstance, unfortunately, there for Bentley.
And now the Penmen will be able to wind down most of the rest of this clock as they line up the goal kick here.
This game sort of mirrors their season, and speaking of the Falcons, doesn't it? They're in it, and they just can't find a way in a one-goal result.
10.
Marissa Burns played forward. This one fanned on, takes a hop. Here's Helen, might have one more chance, knocked down inside. Rose jumps on the loose ball. Helen is irate, no penalty called, and that's how this one will come to an end. So Southern New Hampshire hangs on for the 3-2 victory. Appeared to have this one well in hand. It took one more bump from Rose as she got caught up that time with Amber Sicard, but the Penmen with hugs in the end as they hold on for the 3-2 victory. We'll take a timeout here on Fox College Sports. Come back, have a look at what's ahead on the TV schedule this season, and wrap this one up. Southern New Hampshire, a 3-2 winner tonight over Bentley. This is coverage of Penmen soccer on Fox College Sports. Welcome back to Penmen Stadium here on the campus of Southern New Hampshire University, Manchester, New Hampshire. Ben Alter, Jacob Van Ryn wrapping up a 3-2 victory for the 24th ranked Southern New Hampshire Penmen over Bentley tonight. It was touch and go there for a while at the end for the Penmen, Jacob, but eventually they pull it out, sandwiching their 3 goals in between Bentley's leading score and a closing score in the second half when the Falcons made it tight once again.
I think if you're Southern New Hampshire, obviously happy with the 3 points you take away in league play and the conference standings and whatnot, but not thrilled with the way you played, especially on the defensive side of things, allowing some good opportunities for the Falcons. And again, Bentley's sort of a microcosm of their season, right? Close game, they're in it, can't quite get over the hump. Southern New Hampshire, with the quality result, they'll take the 3 points and the victory, running that winning streak now to 6 consecutive.
Bentley getting goals from Alyssa Valente in the 6th minute and Kelly Donlin, her first of the year, in the 77th minute. Stephanie Helen assisting on both goals for Sydney Carney, Dorothea Glarud, and Ariana Sylvia for Southern New Hampshire. Here's a look at what's coming up on Fox College Sports in coverage of Penmen sports. It's going to be a while, in fact, until the new year when we get basketball going January 29th. It'll be a women's-men's basketball doubleheader against the Adelphi Panthers, and then obviously into February, the late Northeast 10 Conference games, always entertaining, as we'll see more doubleheaders against Merrimack and Assumption. And then as the spring season comes around, Southern New Hampshire Penmen softball against Assumption, and the baseball team, which has long been an excellent program here, taking on Bentley as well. And Jacob, it was an entertaining one. We've been looking for a chance to work together for a long time, my friend, and obviously able to enjoy an entertaining game tonight.
Terrific game. Great to work with you, my friend, and glad to see the Penmen coming out with a good result, albeit not probably in the style and the fashion which they would have liked to take care of business here at home.
Well, certainly a valuable 3 points nonetheless, as the Penmen improved to 10-3-0 overall, 8-2 in the Northeast 10 Conference. Bentley falls to 3-5-3 overall, 2-5-2 in the Northeast 10. That will do it for us. From my broadcast partner, Jacob Van Ryn, I'm Ben Alcher. This has been coverage of Penmen soccer on Fox College Sports.